Is the way you think about debt actually keeping you broke without you even realizing it? Did you know that debt can hijack your thinking and sabotage your decisions, and the scariest part is you don't even realize it's happening? I call it the debt effect, and it's that subtle but dangerous effect that debt has on your thinking that keeps you stuck. And in this video, I'm revealing the 10 telltale signs that the debt effect is secretly controlling you. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome to The Choice Life. Now, these signs are in no particular order, but this first one I'm certainly calling myself out on, and it is you feel anxiety when you use your cash. Okay, so this is a sneaky one that I personally experienced. So I used to hate spending my money. Like, if I had cash, I would still put something that I wanted on a credit card because I just didn't want to use my cash. Like, I didn't want to touch my savings or my cash buffer because I hated seeing that balance drop. And I don't know if it's a scarcity mindset, it probably is, but I wanted to protect that savings, that little bit of savings that I had. So instead of using my cash to buy something, I would put it on a credit card. And weirdly enough, it gave me a sense of security to do that. It made me feel more comfortable to put it on a credit card, to use debt rather than use the cash that I had. And this is the debt effect, like in peak performance, because it definitely affected my thinking in this way that I felt using debt was less risky than using cash. And I realized that I had a twisted logic in this area because it's kind of like when you put on a life jacket because you can't swim, but in this case, the life jacket is made of concrete. So when you use debt instead of cash because you feel like you want to save your cash, you're just putting on a concrete life jacket. You're not saving yourself. You're actually making matters worse. So how do you cultivate a wealth mindset? Well, first you have to realize that debt is not security. You cannot build security in your life and safety in your life with debt. It's taking security from you. It's making your life more risky because say you lose a job or anything happens and you can't pay that debt back, you're in a world of hurt. And in order to have a wealth mindset, you have to understand that paying down debt is what brings true financial security, not using it to preserve your cash. So the second sign of the debt effect is that you know your credit card numbers by heart. And this one is really funny because if you have memorized a 16-digit sequence, this just shows that you're real comfortable. You're real comfortable with your credit card. You've used it all the time. You're always swiping it. You're always typing it in. And it just shows that you are frequently using your credit card. And if you have credit card debt, this is not a good sign. This shows that you are normalizing the use of debt. And this is a clear sign of the debt effect because the more we use debt, the more comfortable we get with using it again. So how do we cultivate a wealth mindset in this area? Well, maybe instead of memorizing your credit card number, maybe you should be memorizing your net worth number. Do you know what percentage you get as an interest rate on your savings account? Do you know how much money you save every month? You should be memorizing those numbers. The third sign of the debt effect is that you're more worried about credit limits than your bank balance. So before you make a purchase, do you ask yourself, do I have enough available credit for this purchase? Or do you ask, do I have enough money in my bank account for this purchase? And how you answer this question will reveal if you have the debt effect. You start to mistake your credit limit as spendable money. And this is a silent trap that I fell into. And it shows that you're planning your life around how much money you can borrow rather than how much money you actually have. So in order to cultivate a wealth mindset in this area, your primary gauge for if you can buy something becomes the amount of money that is currently sitting in your bank account. Credit limits become irrelevant because you're operating from a cash first basis. So you start asking yourself, can my current finances support this purchase rather than can my current credit limit support this purchase? And this leads perfectly into the next sign of the debt effect. And I see this a lot with my coaching clients. And it's sign number 4. You justify purchases based on monthly payments, not total cost. So here's a quick test to see if you're being controlled by the debt effect. When you bought your last car, did you negotiate with the salesman on the monthly payment or did you negotiate the out-of-the-door price for the car? You see, debt skews our perception of affordability because monthly payments can take large, unaffordable purchases and make them seem seem manageable, but you rarely calculate the interest paid over time. And it actually traps you in a cycle of monthly payments instead of leading you to true ownership. And I hate to say it, but a salesman can spot the debt effect a mile away. So how do you cultivate a wealth mindset in this area? Well, you always consider the total cost of whatever you're buying. And if you have the cash for it, then you just pay for it in full. But if not, you might need to reevaluate if this is a need or if it's just a want. And I love how Dave Ramsey says that he moves at the speed of cash. So he waits until he can save up cash before he makes a purchase. And yes, even for real estate. Now, let's just be real. For most of us, that's not realistic, but it's a nice goal. The fifth sign of the debt effect is you're borrowing money to pay other debt. Are you doing the debt shuffle? I mean, you're moving money around, you're doing balance transfers to 0% credit cards, or you're doing debt consolidation, all to hopefully pay down your debt. The debt effect convinces us that this juggling act is progress. Often, debt shuffling is just survival mode disguised as a strategy. Now, when used correctly, these methods can be effective in reducing the amount of interest that you pay over time, but only if you plan to pay the debt off quickly. So how do we cultivate a wealth mindset in this area? Well, instead of using debt to pay off debt, you stop using debt altogether and you instead create a clear debt payoff plan. You can use either the debt snowball or the debt avalanche method. But no more robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, let's pause for a second. How many of these signs have you recognized in yourself so far? Let me know in the comments below. If it's more than 3, don't panic, but you do have to take this seriously, and honestly, the first step is awareness. But I have found that without having a clear goal, you'll stay stuck in a cycle of debt. That's why I created something to help, and I call it my Irresistible Goal framework, and it's the exact plan that I use to become debt-free, build wealth, and stay focused on my financial freedom journey. If you would like a copy of this framework, then type goal in the comments below and I'll send it over. Okay, let's get back to the list because there's a sign that I'm going to talk about later that most people completely ignore, and because of it, they'll most likely end up right back in debt. The sixth, oh my gosh, I keep saying that wrong. The sixth sign of the debt effect, you avoid looking at your total debt number. Okay, y'all, I'm calling myself out on this one because for years I did not look at my debt. And most of my clients struggled with that when they started first working with me. And honestly, I understand ignorance feels like bliss, but honestly, it causes more problems than it solves. And I'm curious, when is the last time you looked at your total debt numbers? Has it been months? Has it been years? I know personally the overwhelming feeling of looking at your total debt numbers, but let me tell you that the debt effect thrives in an environment of fear and avoidance. So how do we cultivate a wealth mindset in this area? Well, we have to shine a light on your financial situation. You have to face your numbers head on and regularly. You have to know your total debt balances, who your debt is with, your interest rates on that debt, your monthly payments, and the plan for when you want to have that debt paid off. I believe knowledge is power, and seeing the full picture, even if it's scary at first, is the first step in building an effective plan for paying off your debt. The seventh sign of the debt effect is you measure your financial success by your credit score. Have you ever said to yourself that you need to get this specific loan in order to increase your credit score, or you didn't even want to pay off a certain debt because you didn't want it to drop your credit score? A clear sign that you are controlled by the debt effect is when you see having a good credit score as the ultimate sign of financial health, even if it means getting in more debt. A good credit score just means you're a good borrower. It gives no indications of your net worth or your wealth potential. Now, I won't go as far as Dave Ramsey, who says that you should let your credit score go to 0. I do still have a very high credit score, but honestly, it's irrelevant to me because I don't use debt outside of my mortgage. So how do we cultivate a wealth mindset in this area? Well, you measure your financial success by your actual net worth and financial goals, not just a credit score. A wealth mindset understands that a credit score is just a tool to measure your likelihood of paying back your debt. It is not a true measure of your financial health. The eighth sign of the debt effect is you downplay your debt debt because everyone has it. You know the saying, misery loves company? Well, debt does too. And when you're struggling with debt, when you find out that other people are struggling as well, you don't worry so much about your debt. Now, this could be very helpful for a period because you know that you're not alone in this journey. But for a lot of people, they begin to disassociate responsibility for their debt from themselves to, oh, there's nothing wrong with my debt because everyone else has it. This is a peak sign that you're controlled by the debt effect. So how do we cultivate a wealth mindset in this area? Well, instead of listening to all these debt stories that are keeping you complacent, you should start to try to find debt-free stories that get you motivated. Listening to how other people dug their way out of debt and got to debt freedom is highly motivating, and it'll help you to get ideas for how you can do the same. You should start to surround yourself with people that have a wealth mindset because that helps you to cultivate your wealth mindset. The 9th sign of the debt effect is you're planning your life around your debt payments. So major life decisions such as changing careers, getting married, having kids are all filtered through the lens of, can I afford to do this with my debt payments? Your future you plans are always vague with no clear timeline, or they're just completely sacrificed at the altar of debt. Debt makes these big life goals feel distant or almost impossible to reach. And this is honestly one of the saddest signs because debt is not just controlling how you think, it's controlling your life. So how do we cultivate a wealth mindset in this area? Well, instead of allowing debt to keep you from the best parts of your life, you build in flexibility through strategic planning, intentional budgeting, and prioritizing eliminating debt. I'll give a personal example. I knew that when we started having children, I wanted to be able to stay home. So in order to practice this, we started to live just off of my husband's income when we got married because we knew that eventually we would be a one-income family. So come time we had our daughter, we were able to easily transition me back home because we were already used to living off of just one income. And this was only possible because we made intentional decisions ahead of time so that we would reach our goal. Which leads perfectly into the sign that I warned you about earlier. The 10th sign of the debt effect is you have no clear, exciting vision for your financial future beyond debt. So you think debt is the finish line and your ultimate goal is to just not have debt anymore, which that's not a bad goal, but that's not enough. There's no vivid picture for the type of life that you want your money to be able to afford you, which causes you to stop being intentional after debt freedom. And the next thing you know, you're back in a cycle of debt. So how do we cultivate a wealth mindset in this area? Well, you first have to operate from a crystal clear, compelling vision for your future, which is your irresistible goal. This isn't just about being rich. This is a deeply personal picture of the type of life you want to live, and money just becomes the tool to build it. If you resonate with this sign and you're struggling to see beyond debt freedom, then this is precisely where my Irresistible Goal framework comes in. It is a 10-page guide that I developed to walk you through creating that powerful vision and a plan to achieve it. So many of you resonated with this in my last video, and I wanted to share it again. So if you haven't grabbed your copy yet, then type goal in the comments below and I'll send it to you. Having an irresistible goal is the most powerful cure for the debt effect. So I hope revealing these signs of the debt effect have been helpful for you, and if you recognize any of these signs in your life, let me know which one was the most eye-opening. And reaching debt freedom is an amazing goal, but it is not the finish line. You need to have a clear plan of what to do next. And I share what I did after getting out of debt 6 years ago to start my journey to financial freedom in this video. So watch that video next, and I'll see you there.